You can be anything you want to be. You can be the biggest drug addict in the world, or you can be an Olympic champion. You can be the president if you'd like. When I was growing up, like, we never got Christmas toys. Like, my mom was such a realist with us. Like, hey, listen, guys, you have 2 shirts, you have a couple pair of pants, you have some shorts. We weren't thinking about gangs and violence. We were just thinking about surviving. But something that my mom did to me that's inspired me in my life is she always edified me. It's like, Henry, you are an American. Henry, you are an American. As a little kid, I've always took that to heart because we were poor and I didn't get it as a little kid. But my whole life changed at the age of 9 years old. I'll never forget it. I was watching the 1996 Olympics, watching Michael Johnson shattered and win the world record with his infamous gold shoes. And that changed my life forever. This African-American man.
It doesn't bother me, man. Like, it's, I knew what I was gonna do to TJ. A fighter knows that, man. I'm a shark. When you smell blood, I'm going out there and I'm gonna kill you, man. He better thank God for that ref because he wasn't gonna make it out that minute.
I think of like the Simone Biles and the situation that she was in a little earlier. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you always and you constantly have to be hungry as an Olympian. You know, yeah, mental stuff does exist, but when you plan for something for so long since you're a kid, you cannot forget that. You have to challenge whatever nerves you're feeling, whatever pressure you're feeling. This stuff is normal. The line should bright even brighter on you because you're expected to win and you expect yourself to win. You have to be healthy nervous. You know, you got to be confident, but you have to have that healthy nervous. If you don't have that healthy nervous, dude, you're really over your head, man. And if you don't check that, what happens is fighters start to lose, and it becomes a domino effect. You know, and it's and then later you just start hating the sport, man. I'd say that, and probably a bit of respect for your opponent. Like, you have to be like, hey man, this dude could possibly beat me. And you got to see all these strengths and all these weaknesses. You got to analyze everything that you know about yourself and then everything that you know about him, and then you'll reflect on the strengths and weaknesses. Like, it's very profound for you to think like that. If you ain't thinking like that, man, it starts internal, man. Like, this is I don't want to say it's all in your head because that's very cliche. It's internal. It's something much deeper than passion. Once I won the Olympics in 2008, I didn't want to compete. And it took literally 3 years and finances and things that were motivating me to come back. So one, I did it for the wrong reason, but at the same time, when I did it with my heart. I worked, I trained, like I did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Even though my heart wasn't in there. You know, with Simone, it's like, yeah, man, because you're that gifted, you cannot sacrifice it. You know, so when I see things like that with Simone, it's like, she probably should have been a little closer with her coaches and maybe with the right people, you know what I mean, to guide her. Because if this was happening out the Cub, it's like, you gotta have all your ducks in order. I don't know what the situation may be, but if it's mental, it's not good because it's not mental health. This is preparation, man. This is the biggest stage on earth. As a competitor, you don't want to lose that. Once you start losing that competitive edge, it will continue to become repetitive, and it's scary. This is the thing, is like, sometimes people, like, they'll self-sabotage in a way. Like, they'll shoot themselves in the foot because they don't want to deal with it no more. But little do they know, when they do things like that, like I've been reading the comments, it's gotten a lot worse. Now you're gonna get trolled, and that's when you really got to be careful. I said, I'm gonna beat this man, and you're gonna be forced to give me a rematch. I'm gonna beat him 125 pounds. I'm gonna take his soul, 135 pounds, and I'm gonna take his belt. Just like that. Everything that I said, I even said I was gonna knock him out in the first round because I know what it's like to cut weight. And you're going up against another creature, man. You're not going up against another normal fighter. You're going up against one of the greatest competitors of all time. And that's the way I see it. I may not be the greatest fighter, but I believe I'm one of the greatest competitors of all time. I will find a way to beat you. I've had, and that's kind of how, when Tyson talks about that, you know, you're like, your life flashes before your eyes, it's death. is what kind of flashes before your eyes, but it's like it's this memory, it's this video that goes through you, but it's in real motion. It's like you're watching yourself right now. It's just seeing your whole life just go, like, run through your eyes, and your mind, and you're just like, so when you're talking about that experience, I'm just like, that's what I thought of. Like, it's real, man.
I know what I did to that man. He knows what I did to him, and I'm at peace, man. Like I said, man, I wish the ref would have let it go on a little longer, because he was gonna be even chinnier. And that's just kind of the way that's really the way I see it, y'all. Like, he better thank God, man. I dropped him 3 times. 3 times. The ref is in the line of fire with me. Like, he's not someone that's across the cage. Like, he's there, man. He's hearing moans and groans. You can hear it when you fight.
There's a separation. I think people need to understand that there's a separation between mind, body, and soul. It's somewhat all connected, but it's not. You gotta somehow connect it when you're good, but when you're not, it's like, dude, if someone sticks you in the knee, cracks you, it hurts. It's gonna be a physical thing. It's not because it's in your head. Dude, that hurt.